Welcome to the Get Better in Chelmsford podcast. I'm Rich, and today I'm joined by Megan Paxman, founder of Girls Run Chelmsford. What started as a WhatsApp message to a few friends is now a community of over 560 women. Every Wednesday, every level, everyone welcome. Megan, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Girls Run Chelmsford probably didn't really start as a business or maybe even a big idea, but take us back to the very first moment we thought, right, this is a thing.
Honestly, I don't remember the exact moment. It was just like I've run for literally my whole life, like since I was 8, and always done it in a group. Always enjoyed it way more when I'm with other girls and not just by myself. Always struggled with motivating myself to get out on a weekend on my own, like after leaving school and finishing with run club I did through school. Went to uni. Had a really hard time doing it by myself, tried to join a club, wasn't really the right group of people, bit too competitive for my liking. So I feel like it's more of a fun social thing in my head. Like once I left school, it was something I just wanted to do for fun, to stay fit.
But you were competitive before that then?
I was once competitive, back in the day when I could be bothered to be competitive with running. But then it just became more of like a fun, like do it with your friends, like get out, start the morning right, stay fit kind of hobby, not so much like competing. It's just a lot of pressure. Obviously then you leave school and you start working and go to uni. It's too many things to think about whilst like competing and running, so kind of dropped that. And then I went to a few run clubs in London like over the last few years and just really enjoyed all of them, especially the ones where it was just women. It's just for me a more comfortable setting because you can just chat to the girls about boys or whatever and just about how you're feeling. But every time I went to ones with like men and women, it's a very different conversation and a very different vibe. And then I signed up to a 10-mile run and I had the worst time ever. I did the Great South Run down in Portsmouth and it was horrific. Like I didn't do any training because I couldn't get myself out to do any of it. And then I went for a run with one of my friends that I used to run with at school. And I was like, this is just so much easier. And then like a few months passed and me and my sister started like following some of the run clubs in London more online. And she was like, you need to start a run club. And then my boyfriend was like, why don't you just do it? Like you have a group of friends who like running, like just get everyone together. So actually it was kind of them that pushed me to like start this random Wednesday run on like a random Wednesday in May, basically. I texted a few of my friends, got them to be free on a Wednesday night. And I was like, let's just see what happens. Like maybe we could be like a London one, but in Chelmsford and kind of offer that to the girls in Chelmsford where it's not an option to just run with a load of girls. Because there's a few other run clubs here, like men and women ones, but not an all girls one. So I got some girls together, put a poster up because I was working in Toast at the time. And met up and there was 12 of us there.
12.
And it was great. It was a really good
Were you
evening.
expecting more people to turn up, less people to turn up?
I didn't think really anyone would turn up. Obviously, I trusted my friends that I had like organised it with would come, but that was only like, I think 8 or 9 of my friends, including my sister and me. And then the other 3 were just girls that had seen it in Toast, which was just insane that they'd also turned up. And they were just like sat there, like everyone was spread out across the high street on benches, like, because it was the first time we'd done it. Like we didn't know what we were doing. We just met outside Black Sheep on the high street in town. And then they all just like walked over when they saw a group like building up. And then we went for our first run and then it just carried on. And it's been every single Wednesday since, other than Christmas Day last year.
Slacking. So think about, you said about the struggles of running alone. Mm-hmm. What's that experience like? Talk a little bit more about.
I mean, there's a couple of like things that are a part of it. One, like just running in the dark on your own. Like for me I feel really unsafe. And I know like so many women do. Imagine like you struggle on a run, you want to walk. That part of it is like, oh God, I'm like in the middle of a field walking and like what's going to happen? But at least when you're running, like in a way, you can just run away. Like that was always my thing. Like I can just run away from anyone or anything if I need to. But it's just sometimes when you're out and you want to stop, you want to have a break, you're then just stuck like in the dark walking, which is quite scary, like on your own. So doing it with someone else, you're not all by yourself, like alone in the evening. Obviously when it gets to winter and it's dark at like 4, kind of means you can't really go for a run and feel safe, which is such a shame, like that you have to feel like that. And it's so not the same running on a treadmill in the gym.
Yeah.
So yeah, running with friends is great because at least you can do it through the winter and like stay on it. But also motivationally so much easier when there's someone else with you pushing you. On your own, you can just give up, which is fine to do. At least you've got yourself out and you're running. But if you're training for something or you want to get somewhere with your running, you can't just keep stopping after 30 seconds. You've got to keep going.
You've just spoken about accountability, effectively.
Yeah.
And by running with people or in a group, you bring that level of accountability, perhaps that you would have had when you were younger with a running coach or a commitment to races and things. So has it been about finding some of that again?
I mean, yeah, definitely. Like, I had a running coach from like year 8 until whenever I went to uni. Can't remember whatever year that was. And that meant I was running every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. I didn't want to, but my mum and dad were like, you need to go, like, this is great, you're so good at it. And all my friends at school were doing it. But like, all of them parts of it, so having the coach, having friends at school, and then having parents that like push you to do it, meant I was always doing it. And I've never been so good at running, like, other than when I was doing the Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday every single week for literally like so many years running. That I feel like going through them few years at uni when I left school and stopped running with a coach, and I just kind of gave up running completely. And then I did my first run, which was that 10-mile race I was talking about, which was so hard. I was like, maybe I need that group. Maybe that's what actually helped. And obviously it's worked. I ran a marathon. I ran 2 marathons since, and I couldn't have done that if I didn't push myself to run. So I think a group is definitely like a supportive and motivational thing. And
of all the girls that come, you've obviously got those that are coming perhaps can't motivate themselves to get out on their own, or maybe it's some of the other concerns around safety. Have you explored motivations with people? And I guess also that how big of a concern is running alone for women? You touched upon it, but it's obviously, as my male privilege, I don't feel that. I don't experience that.
I mean, I actually probably should just go around and ask everyone like how much of a difference like it makes having that group. But I think it's noticeable when throughout winter we still have really big numbers. Like every single Wednesday night it's still at like 25 to 35 on average throughout like October to February, which is obviously dark outside and you might just want to stay in after work, but they're still coming out. And I know all these girls do it because they wouldn't do it on their own, and they're only coming out on a dark evening because it means they can move and not just be like sat at home and like not motivated to do it.
Yeah. Do you think it also offers something a little bit more easy to access? So if you think about some of the classes that people might not be brave enough to go and attend, or I haven't got the equipment, I can't do that, or I don't want to walk in on my own, or things like that. So do you think this is a nice accessible way for people to come and just kind of anonymously slip into the back and crack on?
I like to hope so. I feel like I try to make it really welcoming for anyone. Like, even if you can't run, there's always an option to walk. There's always an option to just do like 2K. You can do your couch to 5K if you want to do a bit of running and walking. And I feel like I try really hard to use that messaging. And like every time I talk to someone and tell them about it, or every Instagram post I put up, or when I get people to tell their friends about it. So I feel like, in my opinion, it's really accessible to everyone. But there's also like an option to run really fast. Like if you are training for something, like some of the girls can do 5K in like 26 minutes, which is insane. Some girls just come and do a walk with their friends in the evening. So yeah, I mean, it's free on a Wednesday night as well. Like you don't have to pay, you just have to come meet us in town and then walk or run, whatever you want to do.
So, and have you found that over time that you've had sort of differing or more diverse levels of ability over that time? Did it all start a little bit more, oh, I'm a runner, I'll come along, that's a group for me, and then slowly sort of got to that, oh, you can run, you can walk, you can crawl,
whatever,
you can do whatever. Has that evolved over time?
I would say so, yeah. Because when I think about like the first few months, obviously, inevitably it's going to happen when there's then more people coming. There's going to be a bigger range. But I think at first, when I think about when it was always like 10 to 15 people for the first few months, we would all pretty much run together, like start to finish. Everyone would finish within like the same 3 minutes of each other. And then over time, I think people have just noticed that you can come if you're just starting out. You can come if you are doing like a slow paced training run or whatever, because people finish like 15 minutes apart now. So obviously a massive range of runners that come on a Wednesday, but also I opened up the option for interval training on a weekend. And then we've done like partners with a couple of Pilates instructors. One of my friends, Georgia, has taken classes. So there's lots of different like variations of fitness that are like come along to all the different things we do. But yeah, on a Wednesday, people that walk, people that sprint their 5K, I feel like maybe they've just seen, oh, there's, yeah, not for me. I can't be bothered on a Wednesday night. But I feel like people must have just seen like people that don't run come and they're like, oh, wait, maybe I can come. Because not everyone's running like sub 25Ks, which we can't all do.
And how do you pair that differential in performance and people wanting different things from it back to running in winter in dark woods or fields and the safety part of it?
Yeah.
How does that, because obviously you've got people 15 minutes apart.
Yeah. Obviously I started the run club in May, so I was really fortunate that the first few months was just light. So we would all run through the park and everyone was quite close to each other. We just do 2.5K out like towards Writtle, 2.5K back, so everyone's kind of on the same path anyway. It obviously got to late September and I was like, oh my gosh, I've not thought about this. Like, it obviously gets dark and I've got to rethink running through a park, because at that point there was like 25 girls coming, like by the time it got to like late autumn. And I was like, everyone's not together anymore. Like, where am I going to put myself? Like, I also want to sometimes run on a Wednesday night with my friends when I'm there, but I also need to make sure everyone's okay. So like, do I wait in the middle of the park, but then I'm on my own? Like, what do I do? So then I moved the run to just the road. So we do a 2K lap around town, and then like on the main road kind of, and we do 2.5 laps. So everyone's, I guess, more together because you're just running in a circle like 2.5 times, and it's on the road. So it's lit up. We're not in the middle of the park. No one's tripping up on tree trunks in the middle of the park. And also our park's not got lights like down as you get to Writtle. So yeah, moving it to the road is how I overcame that first autumn. And then when it got back to like end of April last year, we can move back to our summer route. So we're almost about to start our summer route again this year, which everyone just prefers. It's so much nicer running in the evening.
Yeah, no, agreed.
Sun setting.
And you mentioned obviously friends have come in and done Pilates and things like that. Is that something people ask for? Have you decided to put that on? And does that mean there's more people involved in helping you run this these days?
So I did the first event, which was the Pilates class with my friend Georgia, I think like 10 months after I started Run Club. So it was only Wednesday evenings. I did a couple of Saturday morning runs with the girls that wanted to do like a coffee morning and a run, just because people had mentioned, oh, like I'm going to go do a 10K at the weekend. Like, does anyone want to go together? Kind of started that event-wise, like started offering the Pilates because my friend Georgia and me were just talking about it one day and we were like, how fun would it be? Like, she just started out with her qualification and I obviously have this big group of girls. So we just thought, let's just see like what happens. Like if you're a girl, like, and there's an option to come to this like really nice, like all women space event in Chelmsford, which again, like at the time, like a year and a bit ago, it wasn't like a massive option. So we just put the event on, sold out in 10 minutes. 30 girls came along on a Sunday morning. We did our first Pilates class. And then after that, everyone was like, oh my God, that was so fun. Like, when's the next one? So just started doing it more often. We've done a few reformer classes. We've done like bracelet making classes, vision boards, like painting nights, and then started doing some more long runs with the girls that are more into running. So it's kind of now opened up to not just runners, like people that want to come and just hang out and do like more creative stuff or just like a bit of yoga.
And what do you think? Why do you think that's really the case? Is this thing? Is there nothing available, or what's the need underlying all this to kind of for so many people to kind of go, yeah, I want to do coffee on Saturday, I want to do running, I want to do vision boards and so on. What's the gap there that didn't exist?
I mean, I think personally, I'm in London like a lot, and I feel like it's always an option in London. And it's just a nice way of just not drinking all the time on a weekend. I feel like people at the moment, or at least in like my friendship group, we're like, oh, what could we do in the day? Or like, what could we do that isn't just getting really drunk like every Saturday night? So I think, I mean, I guess not speaking for everyone, but loads of girls want that as well. Like want the option to like meet new people and make new friends, or just hang out with their friends in another way that isn't just on a walk or just like sat at home or spending loads of money on a dinner on a night out or whatever. So I just feel like people just love these kind of things now, and it's just something different. Like you haven't got to like spend loads of money to do it or drive really far away. Like it's just in town and it's something different. And I don't know, maybe people just wanted something new.
Yeah. So do you think perhaps it's a changing culture and less of that drinking culture? Maybe there's a bit of cost of living in there. It's expensive to go and have a drink these days. But is it also perhaps a sign that actually Chelmsford is becoming a bit more of that kind of London vibe?
I mean, I would say so. I mean, so many people live in Chelmsford now. Like, also the amount of girls that have come to Run Club, like in the last year, they've just moved here and they were living in London, or they've moved from like more up north. So I think knowing that there were just so many women here that maybe don't know people can now like come and do something where they can meet people again, not just like on an evening out. Like, it's a nice way to like sit and actually connect with someone. So yeah. Also, I realised you asked me a little while ago about if I did it on my own or if I have help. My sister helps me quite a lot. She does so much for me, but she's currently travelling, so I'm currently doing so much of it on my own.
Important to mention her because your sister, yeah, of course.
Really important, because she does do a lot. Like, she helps so much. I think her and my boyfriend were like the reason for me like pushing to start the Run Club in the first place. They were like, you can do it, like we can help, like if you need anything. Did it, obviously then started offering like all these extra run clubs and all these events that I needed my sister to help me. So she helps organise a lot. She does like a lot of the like chatting to different brands and like getting connections with people and all of the posts online. So just needed to shout her out because I can't miss her out.
No, absolutely. And if they're going to, if they're willing to put the peer pressure on, they've got to back that up with some help.
Yeah, she's got to help me.
Progressively through the conversation, you start, we had 12, and then you mentioned sort of 15, 20, and a minute ago you said I was 30 people at the first thing on the weekend. Where are the numbers at these days? How many total do you think you've influenced in one way or another throughout the
nearly 2 years?
Nearly 2 years.
On the 8th of May. It's our second birthday. So actually at the moment we've got like 560, 70 people on our WhatsApp chat, which is kind of how I would judge how many people we've actually like touched or like whatever, like they've come along to the Run Club. Because you have to like message on Instagram to like join the WhatsApp group, and that's kind of where I put all the dates and all the polls for every week's Run Club, and like any chats where I want like ideas from the girls of what they want to do or whatever. Yeah, got 560 girls on there now.
It's an incredible amount. Yeah, it's an incredible amount. Well done. At what point in the last 2 years then, when you're on your way to 560 plus people, do you go, oh crap, this is a thing now? Like, at what point did you turn around, and how did that feel at that point?
I actually don't know at what point. I feel like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I remember when it was 100 being a huge deal, and then it just kept going and going, and then I didn't really stop and think anything of it until I like say it out loud, like to you, saying 560. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, that is so many people. But I guess when I'm just on my own, like I wouldn't sit and think, oh, that's loads. Like, you're always thinking about, okay, like what can I do that's better? Like, how can I give them more options and like make it an even nicer space for them, not necessarily sit and actually think about how many people there actually are. It's always like, okay, what's next?
And with that amount of people, and I guess they're not all there every week.
No,
there's a good percentage that are
crazy
are involved.
One day.
What it obviously grew quite quickly, and you talk about it quite passionately and everything. Where or how do you keep that personal side to it? How do you keep getting what you need out of it rather than just sit there and manage it? Or maybe you don't.
I don't know. I wish I had an answer, but I use like a lot of my friends are there on a Wednesday night for me. Like, if I work full time, so like I have such a big commitment with work, and there's a lot of times where I can't be there on a Wednesday. And I have like my sister, obviously, who's currently not here because she's away, but my friends that I can count on to like manage a Wednesday night. But outside of that, I think I just take it month by month. Like, I'll organise what's going on next month. Can't remember your question. I don't know if I'm going off the wrong way right now.
That's fine. So I guess, again, with that many that many people, is it still Girls Run Chelmsford, or is it a community now? Because obviously you're doing so many diverse things. Yeah. Like, if you were naming it now and you were giving it a description now, would it be vastly different?
No, I think it would still be the same. I think because it's just girls, it's mainly always in Chelmsford, like everything we do, other than a couple things in London. And yeah, it's still all girls and it's still just here. So I wouldn't change it, I don't think.
And Have you experienced any real negativity along the way with that? Is there moments out there where you've gone, oh, it's just for girls, and you get a bit of pushback or anything like that? Or maybe if it's even a little bit of light banter or anything like that might have a deep-seated meaning or anything. Has it come up against any resistance?
In no way negative. No, just a few times where a couple of my guy friends or my partner, he's gone, "Oh, I can't ever come. Like, how do you expect me to support if I can't be there?" But like in a jokey way. But I think a lot of like guys obviously realize for women it's a nice thing and they don't want to interfere. And again, there's already the option in Chelmsford to go to run clubs as a man anyway. So nothing negative yet.
No.
I just tried to stay really positive and just be nice to everyone that like approaches coming to the run club. Haven't had any bad comments to my face, maybe behind my back. I don't know.
I'm sure not. And with that whole community of girls and everything, what kind of relationships have you seen formed? Have you seen sort of lots of side benefits? Obviously, I'm going to assume while stabbing the dark that people are getting fitter.
Yeah.
And that when you're fitter and you're stronger, you're sort of more mentally robust and all those kind of things. So what have been the side effects or the relationships that have formed out of that have just, you've gone, oh, that's a nice surprise, or this is a bit different, or we didn't expect that?
Well, I mean, that was something I didn't even think about at first, like, because I just started it simply to just like motivate people to run. Like, I didn't think about the whole, oh yeah, you are going to make friends here. And literally since that second week where people that had come along by themselves, because obviously that first week, mainly it was my friends other than a few girls, so many people have come by themselves because they either don't have many friends in Chelmsford because they've just moved here, or their friends don't really like running as well and they do. And I've obviously follow everyone back on Instagram, so I see everyone's like stories, and like watching people hang out with the girls that I can see them like chatting to on a Wednesday night or whatever is really nice. Like, I've noticed it with quite a few groups. People like come on a Wednesday and they're like waiting for their friends that they've met like the week before, and they're all like, oh my God, how's your week been? Like catching up. And then again, seeing obviously on Instagram when they're all hanging out like in the groups, it's really, really nice. And like people have said, well, like, I mean, I've been like out on nights out with a few of the girls, like with their groups of friends that they've made. And they're like, I would never have these friends if I never come to Run Club. Like, thank you, which is really nice because it's something that I didn't even think about when I started it. So like came as such a nice surprise because it's so nice making more friends. Like, no matter how many friends you have, like there is no harm in making more friends and just like having more people to hang out with, especially people that are interested in the same thing you are. Obviously, they're coming to Run Club for a reason. Like, obviously I have a hobby and a passion for like moving and like being a bit active, so having friends that like that kind of thing that you do is not a bad thing to have more of.
I wonder, do you think there's something in that when you go and do an activity with people and it's less focused on, oh, what's the small talk, or what's the question I've got to ask or anything, and you can just run and there's a few moments of silence and that's okay, and you come up and you can, do you think there's something in doing that together? Maybe, versus just sitting around trying to meet conversation? I
think, like you say, like when you're sat at a table, like having dinner, like it can be a bit like, oh God, like it's quiet. But at least when you're running, you can be like, oh God, this is hard. or like, what time are you aiming for? Or how was your day? Like, because you're moving, it is just a bit easier to chat to someone. Again, like you've clearly got a common interest with them. So easy to like make that conversation. So maybe it is, and that's what made it easy to make friends. Like, and you running.
You said, I think you told me previously that quite a lot of people join solo.
So many people. I wish I had like a percentage of the amount of people that have joined on their own, but definitely way over half the amount of girls. Like I've spoken to pretty much everyone that's joined, obviously, other than people that have maybe come on weeks where I'm not there and I haven't seen again or whatever. And I would say like way over half have come by themselves without anyone, which is just like crazy. Because also like I think about it sometimes, I'm like, when I've gone to things on my own, it's so scary. Like when you're about to walk up to a group of people and you don't know anyone, like it's such a big deal. But the fact that so many people have done it and then they've come back because they have met people and then they've made friends through it is really great.
And do you have any standout moments from where people have perhaps come on their own, made friends, and something's happened? Something in their life has changed for the better, or just from coming along?
I mean, there's like a few girls in my head that I can think of, but like there's like a group of girls that all came by themselves, other than I think one of them came with one of her friends she already had. And then I know that they hang out because like I speak to them like most of the time when they're there, but they all go and support each other. And like when one of them does a race, like they're all there with each other and they're all going on holiday together. I feel like that's like one group that really sticks out in my head, because I think you guys didn't know each other like a year and a half ago. Now you're going on holiday together. Like, how nice is that?
Yeah. So you're beaming when you say that. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
guess
it's
you
so
feel quite
nice,
you feel
yeah.
quite proud of this and
I
what you've
do,
achieved in
yeah.
it.
Again, because I just didn't expect it. I think seeing it, I'm like, oh, like how lovely is that? Like you've just met these new people and now you're like best friends. And even for me on like my end, I've made so many good friends through the run club, which I didn't think I would make more friends. Like I didn't think about it like that when I started it. And there's like so many girls that I'm really good friends with now that I've met because they've come to my run club that I've just like really gelled with, which is really great for me.
So thinking back then to 12 people turn up, you never in a million years thought it would be this.
Yeah.
What did you, if you think back, what did you really expect
I
to
actually
happen?
just wanted to try and run more. And there was one of my like friends from like one of my jobs I had like back when I was 15, and she was like, I really want to run, but I can't. I've gone on my own like 3 times and I keep giving up. And I was like, just come like and do it. So that was kind of it, just to simply help myself and also help the girls I knew in my life that were really trying to get into it but just couldn't stick to anything. It was kind of just that, just to see if we could get anywhere and if anyone could just like push themselves a bit more with their running.
Yeah.
And obviously like because I follow all the big run clubs in London, in my head I was like, oh, that would be so crazy if one day it was like that. But obviously in my head I was like, not gonna happen. Like we're just gonna go out and see like how well we can do like on a Wednesday night on our run, see if we can actually do a 5k. So yeah, sometimes I think back to 2 years ago and I'm like, this is crazy. I hadn't even started it 2 years ago. And now look at them all running.
Well, let's think about the other side of it. So, you've got this group of people, and I think you mentioned earlier about some of the collaborations and brand deals and things that might be hovering around and stuff. So obviously someone else thinks there's value in this. So talk about some of those opportunities that it's brought.
I mean, I first off started the run club with no space. Like we just met in a car park. We would leave our stuff in our cars or like in one person's car if you'd run over or whatever. And then one of my friends that I worked with previously, he opened and started working at Thirst, the coffee shop, like bar that's right under the train station, which is like such a great meeting point compared to a car park in the middle of Riverside.
It's an upgrade, yeah.
It's a really big upgrade, yeah. And he like mentioned to me like they'd just opened really similar time to me starting my run club, like really great way of them like having more people aware of like their space, and also somewhere for me for girls to leave their bags and just come straight off the train if they work in London, like leave their stuff, or just have somewhere if they finish their run early where they're not just stood in a car park waiting for someone to finish or whatever it is. So we moved over there, which was like a really, really big deal because that was like the first thing that ever happened. So like obviously this really nice bar has just like seen us and thought, let's take them. So we started there, and then I had someone from Gales, I think, like, Gales Bakery, reach out to us, and I don't know how, they must have seen Instagram, and they invited us in to the Chelmsford Gales after it opened, and we did a run club there, and everyone got free pastries. I can't remember which pastry it was now, but we had 30 girls come to that, and then we've had like Free Soul send us stuff and have a partnership with LSKD, which is a really nice sportswear brand. They're Australia based, so that's a bit annoying that they're not in the UK at the moment. But they give us a lot for our run club, like every month, and there's discounts for all the girls. So yeah, I think that's been a really nice thing, is like other people seeing us and wanting to be a part of it and seeing how much value there is in a community like that. I'm obviously making people more aware of their brand whilst supporting me to be able to do all these nice things for the girls that come out to run club.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I guess it's nice to see from a community side as well, is that there's people willing to support that and get involved. But I guess it's kudos to give you that level that actually you have created value. Because if we think about it from business context, I mean, they're doing that because they want to promote their wares to your community.
To the girls that like running.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense to do that. You mentioned earlier then that you've got a full-time job.
Yeah.
So this is not a full-time job,
No.
although it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
So how do you manage all of this alongside it now?
I don't really know how I'm doing it. I just am. Like, I work Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 in the office in London every single day, and like still just try with Run Club, because I think maybe because I care about it so much, in a sense, like I just started it because I really just wanted to run more and help other people run more, that I don't see it as like a job in a way. Like, it's just something I like doing, like when all the girls message on Instagram or whatever, like it's more of a fun thing for me still. So I just, when I'm on the train on my way home, like I'll do what I can. On the weekend, I'll try and do what I can, but I'm also really tired. So, like I'm just trying.
Yeah, but I guess there's an element of forgiveness in all of that because of the style of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's very laid back. Like again, like the only thing people pay for is an interval session, which is just a few pound on a Saturday morning. We all meet and it's very like relaxed. Other than that, it's just a Wednesday night, like pretty much.
Do you think that's one of its strengths? Perhaps one of the reasons why it works is because it's not overtly commercial?
Yeah, maybe. Like it's not a big, like you don't have to pay a fee or sign up online or anything. You can literally just message me on Instagram and me or my sister will reply. And then just like you actually chat to us and then you come along and it's not like a really daunting, scary thing because we're just girls as well. Like we're just one of everyone else. So it's easy to come to. It's not like a big deal or a big pressure or anything.
Yeah. And is there from your current job, obviously up in London and everything, is there an acceptance from them that you might use some time or a bit of pride in the fact that you've created this, or what, is there a crossover at all between the two?
I mean, my job is in marketing, so I feel like that really pays off because there's obviously so many things I've learned through my job, like in marketing and doing like social media and stuff that I can like use for my run club. I'm like, oh, posting this will really help. Or like speaking to people in a really friendly way does really pay off, which I've noticed then at my work, like taking that tone of voice to like customers where I work, obviously is what I do for the girls for my run club. And again, like it's so obvious that speaking to people like you're a normal person makes such a big deal because people actually feel like they can connect with you. But in terms of my work, like everyone just supports my run club. And like when I tell them I've done an event at the weekend, like they're like, oh my God, how did it go? But I don't need to take off any time for it or anything because it's on a Wednesday night or on a weekend, like doesn't really fall in the week.
Yeah. Just keeps you super busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't mind.
So do you think it stays as is, or you're coming up to 2 years, any big plans for second birthday? How do you evolve? What do we do next?
I think, I don't know. I'm going to do a really big birthday party in May. That's what I'm going to do. Going to do like a little dinner and then drinks and karaoke at a bar in Chelmsford, which is really exciting. And then going to do a couple other events over like May and June. But other than that, just going to stick to Wednesday. Would love to try and offer like more option for like different like sports, like track sessions or a bit of high rocks, because like the girls obviously is such a big thing now. Like that would be really great to do, but I've never done it. So like I haven't quite like figured out how I can bring that because I haven't done it. But just opening up more events would be great if I can find a way for me to be able to manage it whilst working. But my sister's back in June. So as soon as she's back, she'll be able to help me like see what we can do to like level things up and like open up more options for girls. But I'm also moving hopefully this year or next year. And I don't know if I'm going to be living in Chelmsford. So it'll be really good to establish how like this can run on a Wednesday every week without me being there like probably at all, maybe every now and then if I come home on a Wednesday night. So just kind of figuring out a way to like keep it as it is and not like lose any of that feel that it has now, like when I do move. So I think that's one thing like I need to think about this year.
But I guess there's an inevitability about it as it grows and scales and is established that you might need to put a little bit more process and structure and ownership to other people in it.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a handful of girls that come on a Wednesday, other than Laura, my sister, who I've mentioned so many times. Other than her, there's like 6 girls that I can like really count on at the moment, and like a couple of them always offer their help anytime I've done like a weekend run. Like we just did the Gales Need for Speed spring campaign again a couple of weeks ago. And one of the girls was like, let me help you film things. Like, I'll scan all the tickets. Like, I think there's so many girls that come along that love like the idea of being a part of this community and also love creating content. So they obviously always take photos, which is great for me because it means I can do the interacting and they can film things and do that side that I can't do all of it. Like, it's obviously quite a lot and I want to be able to like shoot everything that we're doing. But yeah, there's so many of them that like are happy to like lead the warm up for me on a Wednesday. Like, I had an operation last year, so I couldn't run for like 8 weeks. And I was like, who's going to do my warm up? But they were like, we'll do it. Like, we want to be in the middle of the circle to like lead the warm up, which was great. So now I know that's an option. If I'm not there, I can count on them. They can do the head count, they can do the photo, and they can make sure everyone's back safe, like when they finish their run. So I think just like giving back to that group so that like I know that they're always there to support me, but without them feeling like I'm using them, because that's obviously not what I want.
I think it's a testament to you that you've created a community with a culture like that that can self-run it.
Yeah.
So I think that's great. And I guess we've got 560 odd members or people that come and go. The doors are still open if people want to come.
Always.
How would someone do that if they wanted to get involved?
Just have to message me on Instagram, Girls Run Chelmsford. Literally just message me and I try and get back like within a few days. And then I just will ask them to send them their number and then add them to the WhatsApp chat, and then they can see where we meet. But I always post like location and times on Instagram as well. So you don't even have to be on the WhatsApp. You can just see it on Instagram and just come along. Like that's literally it.
Perfect.
Just join us wherever we are. Yeah.
Well, and thank you very much for your time. Appreciate coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.